Hello and welcome to another Nikke video. Hey, I just want to talk really quick about what happened in the hard mode of the story event. I had barely just finished it and I had a whole bunch of thoughts about it. Obviously, there is going to be spoilers here. I'm going to really talk about more about the questions that weren't answered in the game, or maybe they were and I just never saw them, or maybe I had missed it some way. So if you feel that any of these questions that I'm about to ask have been answered, please leave them in the comments. I would love to know the answers to some of these questions. But first off, the first question that I had was going to be about the legendary commander and Lilith going back into the arc and never coming out at the end of the story. I understand at this point in the story, we had already faced Cinderella, that Lily-Wise pretty much saved everybody and had to exert her force and pretty much needed maintenance. I understand that. But I would assume that, eventually at some point in the story she would have came out. But unfortunately, the event story never actually even mentioned her ever again. So after the battle with Cinderella, sorry, I'm not going to call her Anachiro. I do not like that name, so I'm going to keep calling her Cinderella there. After that huge battle, she never came out. They never reported back to her, or not in the story anyways. They never mentioned it in the story. But I wish they would have actually said something there, because it's just a big mystery to what happened there. Also, originally, when she was saying that, that she was getting tired and all that stuff with the commander out in the field, Lily-Wise, that is, I was assuming that, maybe she was corrupted and something was going on, because it just seemed that she was really weird. She was acting really weird. But it was probably because, that she did help everyone else survive, and I think that's why, now that I'm thinking about it. Oh, and one more thing regarding Lily-Wise. I just want to know 100% how she attacks. Because I know some people are saying, she's more of a fist fighter, that's how she fights. But I felt like on the illustrations that were being produced during the event, it did not 100% really show that she did or not. I know that she does use her hands, that 100% no. I don't know if, she does something like telekinesis, or maybe she levitates stuff and chops stuff in half. Maybe she does like an elfin light or lead, I don't know how you pronounce that show. Where pretty much is these invisible hands that, that attack stuff. Yeah, because I know there is that one animation where she has her hand in front of her body, like she's trying to slice in half, and then the rapture right in front of her pretty much is sliced in half. So I don't know if it's something like that. Unfortunately, it does not show her physically chopping it in half, just the end result. Unfortunately, it's not really showing it that she actually really uses her hands. I wish they did something like they did with Johan, where pretty much it literally shows an action pose and is showing where the damage is coming from. And it pretty much, you could actually, in your mind, see, Johan is actually hitting this Nikke and killing it in one blow. Yeah, that's the only thing. I'm not 100% sure. Yeah, some people are saying that she is a hand-to-hand Nikke, but I'm not 100% sure. I'm not 100% convinced. But hey, if she is, please let me know. I mean, yeah, throw some proof down there. Give me some, give me something so I could be 100% sure in there. But this next question that I did have was about the rat. Yes, if you don't know what I'm referring to, somebody was snitching. Yeah, it's just there was a lot of coincidences in the story where they're either repairing, they didn't have enough ammo, pretty much they caught them with their pants down, pretty much. And that happened a lot in the story for some reason. I was assuming that somebody, either in the arc or even in their own team, I was assuming somebody or something was providing information to the Raptures in some way, shape, or form. I don't know what. I don't know if it could have been Cinderella with her being corrupted and she's giving all this precious information to the Raptures, or maybe even somebody in the arc that was also providing information to the Raptures in some way. Maybe I was originally thinking it was probably Lily-Wise, just because how she was acting, but now thinking about it, maybe it's just she just exerted too much force and maybe that's why she was acting the way she was. But I originally had thought, maybe Lily-Wise is doing something and she's corrupted and then she's providing information. But hey, even thinking about it now, maybe it could have even possibly been Cinderella as well. But I just found it too coincidental that every time some of their crew wasn't there, that's when the Raptures would attack. Or whenever they didn't have enough ammunition or anything else, the Raptures would all of a sudden attack every single time. It looked too coordinated. So I don't know. I just found that there was a rat somewhere. Yeah, something was going on. I don't know what, but yeah, that was one of the questions I had. The next question that I was thinking about was revolving around Frisia. I think that is her name. Anyways, I know that some people were saying, she's rappy, but she never even came off as rappy to me at all. I mean, there's a lot of hints to even her costume with her outfit. Besides being a bunny, I don't know if that was like a huge tell that they wanted to give everybody. But if not, there's also her parents, parents pretty much being dead. And then also as well, that she came from a very poor family, obviously. Yeah, but they actually never 100% said, hey, she is Alice. I'm just heavily leaning towards that. And obviously as well, she wants to be a Nikke too. But yeah, that was another one too that they didn't fully answer it. I understand why they didn't fully answer it, but I'm heavily leaning towards Alice there. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's a totally different Nikke that you guys have a better idea of than I do. I would like to know if I'm towards the right area or not. All right, the next question is going to be revolving around Oswald. Oh man, I'm feeling very conflicted with Oswald because considering what happened in Overzone, he didn't always seem the best. And I know even during that time, people were saying, oh, he might have been an imposter. He was acting very sus. Maybe he wasn't part of the central government. He was saying he was just acting on his own on their behalf or something like that, which I never got that feeling, And then now, especially now with this new event, that pretty much he is part of the central government. He is a part of it. But how he is currently in the Red Ash event, he is pretty different. I mean, he seems pretty reasonable. He even did stuff that was outside of the protocols. I mean, he followed Red Hood when he didn't even have to follow Red Hood's direction. And not only that, he did also help Red Hood out by actually talking to the citizens as well. And yeah, so it seems that it gave me a different impression of him. Yeah, I don't know if the arc pressured him very heavily. They pretty much made their decision and just said, hey, it's like when you're at work and unfortunately the managers force you to do something and it says, hey, you have to do this thing, and it's just not a good thing that you have to do. They sort of reminded me of that. And yeah, that was pretty much for Oswald because now I'm just pretty much conflicted with them. All right, now the next question that I had was regarding with Cinderella. How the hell did she get corrupted? Yeah, they never stayed in the game. It just pretty much as soon as you see her, she's already corrupted. She's already attacking you guys. And pretty much it's just a battle of life and death from then on. And I know also in the Memory of Goddess minigame, I know they do provide a little bit more information regarding that, where she's pretty much talking about herself. She has to attack other people that look like her to save the humans or something like that. I don't remember 100%. But anyway, she just has to attack the Nikkes. Pretty much that's what it is. They never hinted, how she got corrupted at all. I mean, I don't know if it was another rapture or maybe something that just snuck up or even maybe a human that did it on purpose. I don't know. Since pretty much what she's supposed to do, it's just supposed to be just come in, just basically eradicate a whole bunch of raptures and leave. That's her main attacking method pretty much. So I just don't see how she could actually get corrupted. I'm assuming that was one of the humans or maybe somebody that, maybe a human that the raptors were controlling that did it. I don't know. I mean, there's just so much left open for that. Yeah, I have no idea how she got corrupted. And then the next question is, we already know in the story that she is still technically alive. And I believe Vop House was also used on her as well. So now this leaves a question, like, why was she left alive? That's the only thing. I know that, the Goddess Squad faced her, at that cool animated cutscene. It was very, very incredible if you guys have not seen it yet. But anyways, we do know that she was pretty much defeated. She was having blood on her face. She gave that sad smile and all that stuff. But even then, they know about corruption. They know about what it does to Nikkes. I know they do not know 100% at their time. They're still trying to cure it. They still think there's a cure. But even then, they do have some exposure to the corruption. So I would assume they would have just killed her off and that be it. But even to the game where it's at now, in the regular story mode, she's still alive and kicking and still doing other stuff as well. So I do not know what happened. I mean, I don't know why they left her alive. I don't know if they made another body of her and try to do something else. Or even then, she does not even have her weapons. Which basically that's her main threat. Without her weapons, I mean, she can't even hover anymore since even the hover is broken. Yeah, so even then, she doesn't really seem that much of a threat without her weapons. And yeah, it just leaves so much mystery about like, why is she alive? Why does she have her weapons? Yeah, if you have a better idea of what's going on there, I would like to know. All right, and then also the next question I had was regarding the corruption. Damn, at the end, it could actually be cured in some way. I mean, I don't know if I would call it a cure. I mean, I don't know if it's just it dies out after a certain amount of time, or maybe it's like some Nikke antibodies or something. I have no idea. But pretty much, given by Red Hood waking up 30 years, into the future and saying, oh wow, I took a very long nap there. And only that none of her weapons worked and all that stuff. So I guess there is a way that the corruption could be fixed. After this had happened, I mean, there's a lot of thoughts going into my head, regarding the very, very last part of the Red Ash event, where now technically Marion didn't really have to die, technically be shot in the start of the game. There would have been one possible way for her to actually survive, or not even her. It would have been so many other Nikkes as well, even For example, Laplace, where she was going to shoot herself as well because, you know, she's thought, oh, the corruption got a hold of me, so I'm just going to end my life here. Pretty much that's what she was going to do before, you know, she didn't have to do that. But also as well, I mean, I do understand why the Ark initially, you know, did not want to, you know, save the corrupted Nikke just because there was so much they didn't know. They didn't want to waste resources because they were losing pretty bad. So I understand that. But even then, you know, after they went underground and now they have time to get their bearings and to figure out what they're going to do, I'm surprised they didn't actually try to do more research or even like beg the question like, hey, maybe over time, will this actually heal them or not? I mean, I know why maybe they wouldn't want to do it just because maybe the corrupted Nikke could have possibly corrupted other things or even maybe got into their computer systems and corrupted something like that. I don't know, but it just leaves like so much questions now about some of the Nikkes that have died throughout the game. You know, because of corruption, maybe they never had to, you know, maybe there could have been another way. All right, the next one up is going to be regarding if the Raptures are aliens. Yeah, because I'm trying to remember, but pretty much in the event story, you know, they were saying they were looked through all over the place and the only thing they haven't really looked towards is space. And then when they finally got to that space elevator, it was a whole bunch of Raptures guarding it. And, you know, even when they were trying to go up the space elevator, they got attacked by Cinderella there. I mean, it's heavily hinting that it had to do with space. And that's what I was assuming that I'm trying to remember. I think when they were still making the game, I think they were hinting at they were going to start at space first, then do stuff with Earth. But then they changed how the story of the game was. And now they made it so they're underground or something like that. I remember reading some information regarding that a long time ago. But anyways, yeah, I'm assuming that they're aliens. I don't know 100% sure. I'm assuming that's something out there in outer space, like they're just shooting them out, or either that's something like some meteorite came crashing to Earth and it just affected something and blah, 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 something like that. You know, so, they'll think of something. But yeah, I don't know if they're aliens or not. All right, now my next question is going to be, who was the queen before Lilith? Like, what started all this rapture? Like, who was producing them or what was producing them? Yeah, because we do know eventually, you know, thanks to the Overzone event, that pretty much Lilith's head was taken. And then also with Nihilister's Bond story, which I think it's Bond story 2. It might be a different one. But anyways, Nihilister does talk about this through her Bond story, where pretty much they did use Lilith's head to go ahead and basically create a Rapture Queen. But the only thing is we still don't know who or what actually produced these Raptures. Or, you know, if there was an alien being that's producing them. Because right now, pretty much a lot of these heretics that are, when they talk, they pretty much are always talking about Lilith. You know, all of them say, oh, about Lilith this and all that stuff. But even then, there had to be somebody before Lilith, because Lilith is Lilywise and Lilywise is a Nikke. So she was the first Nikke, you know, that was pretty much creating, you know, those powerful Nikkes there. And so that leaves a question of, okay, well, if Lilywise, you know, got her head taken, got corrupted, and became the Rapture Queen, well, technically there had to be something before her. And they still haven't really said it, you know, at all, just besides the hinting of them going to outer space and trying to find out there, you know, that's pretty much it. But other than that, yeah, we just have to have more information on that. All right, then I think the last question that I was having was regarding the original Nikke production. And in this case, it's going to be Wrap Yourself, because pretty much right at the end of the Red Ash event, you know, you do figure out that Red Hood goes out. She does happen to see a mass-produce Nikke, which I'm very, very happy that actually shiftup did this, because I know a lot of time they get lazy and sometimes they just use a common mass-produced model, or if not, sometimes they use no model at all. So I'm glad they actually gave a unique mass-produced model to Rappy. Pretty much it was just red, because most of the time we saw, I think, was green, blue, purple, gray, a few other ones too. I think there's a few others. But anyways, yeah, so I'm glad they actually gave her a unique mass-produced model there. And I'm surprised also as well that she had a name, since a lot of the mass-produced Nikkes do not have a name at all. You know, even going through the Nier event, they pretty much said, oh, my name is, you know, B-0001 and blah, 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 you know, all that stuff like that. And it wasn't until the other crew gave them their own names that they actually thought, oh, you know, I have my own name. So I was quite surprised that the mass-produced Red there, she gave, oh, my name is Rappy there. And this leaves the other question too as well regarding it, that we already know, you know, in the game, you know, there's other heretics that have already done this. For example, Nihilister, she's able to basically change her body to this gigantic dragon and then go ahead and change her body again to a regular Nikke body, you know, pretty much how we see her in game. So we already know that the heretics could change their body, you know, at will. The only thing is though, is that now, I don't know if Red Hood's corruption is 100% healed, you know, I do not know that. But so far it does look like it. You know how she said she woke up, she felt like fresh as a daisy, she felt totally fine. You know, so it's possible that, you know, she got fully healed there. But if she was actually fully healed or even feeling better, what was the point of Red Hood combining with a mass-produced Rappy? Yeah, that's the only strange part, because I mean, if she was feeling good and doing everything, I mean, yeah, it would be possible for Nikke to, you know, to be put inside another Nikke pause, since pretty much mass and volume have really no limitations. You know, pretty much in the game, you could do whatever you want with mass and volume in terms of the heretics there. So now I do not know about Red Hood. I don't know if she like gave her consciousness to her, or, you know, did something, you know, some way in order to put her own soul or something, her own being pretty much inside Rappy. Because right now how I'm seeing it, I mean, if she's nice and healthy, there really is no point for them to combine at all. I guess there is something else they just didn't tell us there, but it just leaves a lot of questions open to that. Because now it also leaves a question too, that if other Nikkes could go inside other Nikkes pause, is there a way that they could be combined? Pretty much like how Dragon Ball, like they do the fusion dance, or they put on those earrings and they combine that way, where now they're pretty much one Nikke. You know, maybe something like that. Maybe that is possible, because I didn't think that was. I thought only the heretics could really do it. And the only reason why is because the raptures aren't really fully explained. So, you know, anything that could happen with the raptures, you can't really 100% dismiss, because we have no evidence that that cannot happen or can happen. So it's pretty much in the air. So even though we did got a lot of information about Red Hood, now there's even more questions regarding that, because that opened the door for so many other things. And one other thing regarding the mass-produced Rappy as well was that during the elevator, whenever the game opens up, you know, you see Rappy going in an elevator. Actually, on her collar, it shows the number 001. I don't know if that's like something special where, hey, you know, maybe this is going to be the first very unique model, you know, our very first unique test regarding combining two Nikkes into one. I mean, that's very possible there. When I first saw that 001, I thought it was just something, you know, just some lore reason that was there, or just maybe design flavor, you know, just something. Because I know there's a lot of stuff that's sometimes a mystery on the designs for some reason. But maybe there is some truth by having that 001 on her collar. Maybe there is more than meets the eye to that. And yeah, that's pretty much it that I have for the questions. For this, I didn't really have it organized. I'm pretty much making this video right as soon as the event was over. I was talking to my chat regarding this stuff, and I just had so many questions regarding it. I was just like brainstorming, hey man, like there are just so many questions left unanswered. I think there's even more questions left unanswered that I didn't even say here. But again, if any of you happen to know any answers to this question, I would really like to know. Yeah, because some of these, I'm trying to wrap my head around these, and I'm trying to make sense of some of this stuff. But yeah, I just feel that some of this stuff is really left open. Also, if you feel that there was any other questions that maybe I didn't point out here, or maybe there's some questions that you guys had, go ahead and put them in the comments of the video. I mean, I would like to know, yeah, because some of these questions I feel that would be very helpful if we could just answer them. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. I'm Scrublord, and I'll see you on the next one.